Muta Hawks. I'm 17 years old and I attend the Lee Worthington Boys and Girls Club. My father wasn't always around because his drug activity in the drug cartel he was in. He was arrested a couple of times, and my opinion and thought about the law enforcement wasn't too great. I hated them because every time I got close to my father, they just take him away. It just left my mom with like a single parent, really, and then so that's how I came introduced to the Boys and Girls Club, and I've been here since I was 6 years old. So, and I'm 17 now, so it's been a long time. Recently, through the Boys and Girls Club, I was they had a field trip to go to Iraqi policing strategy with the sheriff's department. Once I knew like the sheriffs were hosting it, it's like, no, I'm definitely not going because we're going to like where they are, like their home base or whatever, and a bunch of guys with guns, African-American male. This time, it's not a good mix together. But I was forced to go, and honestly, it was one of the greatest decisions ever. I'm glad that Mr. Nate Brown forced me to go because it completely changed my whole look upon law enforcement.
When you move into these scenarios, you're not going to be who you typically are when you're out. You are going to change your mindset into being what you would think that a police officer would do in a particular situation. You have a gun on one hand and a taser on the other, and you have to make some split-second decisions.
Go. He goes this way, go to the left, and then straight right around.
Today what we're doing is we are allowing some of our youth to experience the things that law enforcement goes through. It's a great thing because now they actually get to see and feel and experience everything that the officers go through from a day-to-day experience.
I'm going to take the gun out of your waistband.
Okay.
Put this hand up here, because if he leans towards you, you can feel him. Now back off.
It makes it very real for them, the fact that they can get hurt. They have to make split-second decisions. They have to use their mind constantly, and not everything is the same. It may look the same on a traffic stop, but every traffic stop is different. And I think they learned that very quickly, putting them through the scenarios.
I'm gonna need you to step out of the
I'll get out. I'm out. I'm out of my car. This is my property. You have no rightful law to be in my car.
This whole experience was a really great deal to me, and I believe to the other children as well, because it put us in the shoes of our own police officers, and we learned a lot because we were put in the same dangerous situations as them, and we see what they go through on a daily basis, whether it be the verbal abuse or the physical confrontations that they have.
This is actually one of the best field trips we've ever went on with the Boys and Girls Club. Like, I'm dead serious. We actually were a part of the field trip. Like, we actually got to engage and actually learn from another point of view.
Now go in with them. Keep the guns up. You don't know who he is yet. Okay, there you go.
We want this to be ongoing. We have many, many kids in Sarasota County from the north to the south, and we really want to get students and young people talking about this, getting an understanding of what law enforcement really is.
And you're real good about being like, hey man, we're here for a disturbance. We're gonna find out what's going on. You said, hey, let me talk to you right away. You had me come outside. Great. These are great kids that we're interacting with, and it's just gonna make it better the next time they have contact if it's real world on the street. And the relationship is important. So we're going to see more of that as we continue this project over the next year.
I'm definitely going to have a bunch of my friends come and take the same class, and I hope they feel the same way that I do, because this definitely changed my whole perspective on the entire training that they have to go through, everything, and I'm just great to be a part of it.
I didn't think it was going to have the impact that it did. I really didn't. I thought they would benefit from it. I thought they would see our side of what we do in law enforcement. But when you talk to them and you see some of their reactions, it was kind of a big eye-opener and life-changing to some of the kids that followed in the later sessions, for sure.
I really think this could help people open their eyes and maybe even teach kids a thing or two about law.
You know, this is brand new for me, and it really helped me grasp everything that they really do go through.
When you're going through the scenarios, you are going through the whole situation, you never know what you're going to do until you get into that situation. So I think this is very good for them, very good. It's really awesome for them.
The next step was bringing them into the community foundation here where we all came together and we discussed. Dr. Sewell put up a lot of our objectives and the strategic plan on the board, and we just had kind of a group discussion from their perspectives. And traditionally we've not had a segment of the youth contribute to the strategic plan or to a lot of the things that we do at the Sheriff's Office. So to bring them in at that level and give them a voice, and then be able for them to see what the product looks like in the end. They'll see some of the things that they brought up, topics that were discussed in the end. I think that'll reaffirm for them that we believe that it was important for them to come in and contribute.
You'll see some things as we go on. One is positive engagement with the youth of our community, because we listened to you the other day. We couldn't help but listen to you. She's got to be the best spokesman that the Sheriff Knight could ever have doing something. You guys aren't bad either, okay? But Sis is the one here.
First of all the members here, just a member of Keystone, that's a big jest because you're part of a leadership club that's changing things in our community. So we're proud of that. A member of our Keystone Club is very important. And being partners with our local law enforcement is amazing. So as Almuda is becoming a great leader, Sheriff Knight's a great leader and his team, and we're just proud to be partners with all of you. And thank you for taking time out of your schedules tonight to be with us. And I just wanted to stop by and tell you all how proud I am of you to being here tonight on a Friday night and making a difference in our community. So thank you all.
We wanted to get the officers together and then the BGC kids and just pick their brains to see what were their perspectives and what are their interpretations of the opposite side.
We have 4 different groups. I'm gonna give you guys a question. You guys are gonna collaborate and give an answer. Where do you get your perception of law enforcement from? Is it social media, TV, songs, personal experience, parents, family, friends, or pop culture?
The only time we really see a cop is when they're arresting somebody or something bad's happened. If they can be more active with us, like how you said, have them come to the club and they play with us, that'd be nice, because if we see them more at school and we sat down and talked to them, we get to see how they're human too.
Where do you get your perception of teenagers, and that's for the law enforcement?
When we go to a call, it's because somebody called about maybe a teenager or something like that. So now we're going to that house just because somebody called us and said that they were doing something wrong. So that's our first perception.
We do like other people because we're human, we somewhat categorize. And just sort of group everyone in that, this is their generation, this is what they do, and then the music and the television somewhat supports that kind of behavior. So we just sort of make that assumption that that's just how it is, that's just how kids in general are. So I think it's more so our perception drawn upon from our own experiences through our work.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming out. It's been a great journey and there's much more to come.
Me and Muta, we talk all the time saying how we're blessed to have you guys be a part of what we're trying to build in this community, and we're just thankful, and we look forward to the next step, which is the next rifle policing strategy.
Thank you guys as Keystone Club presidents for tackling this and working together, and not only just you guys having an idea, but getting for the groups to come and participate, like we said earlier. I think that's amazing. I think we all need to be leaders, whether you're kids, whether you're from the group, whether it's your profession.
Right now, it's so important that we address the issue because so many like incidents going around with just like law enforcement and teenagers, especially African Americans. So,
It is.
so I think it's something that we need to address, and it starts with the youth.
I think being able to see each other's perspectives is the most important thing, because if we can do that,
Absolutely.
we can always have a dialogue. And that doesn't mean we always have to agree, but at least we're sitting at this table having a conversation, as opposed to you're over there and I'm over there and we're not having any kind of dialogue at
Let's
all.
hear the different point of views and everything.
And shake hands and walk away. I'd like to see in some of the future rightful policing where we have a little more afterwards dialogue and get to hear your side of things. You're there obviously to see our side, but I think we could add some time to that and hear a little bit more about the reasons why maybe you have some of the feelings you do or the ideals that you do about law enforcement. That's important for us.
It's very promising to know that you can trust your local law enforcement, and that they're all not bad. And it doesn't explain a lot of things, but it gives you understanding.
Sometimes, cops get a bad rap, and sometimes the youth get a bad rap too. And one incident in the media gets blown out of proportion, and all kids are kind of painted with that brush and labeled. And it is, when you've had a day where you've dealt with kind of the bad side of the criminal justice system, and you get to sit down with Al Muda and have this kind of conversation, it kind of restores your faith in the youth and in folks in this community. It really kind of balances you out. I leave with every day this agency with a positive attitude because of kids like you. Seriously.
Thank you. Now that I have been on the other side to see what they go through on a daily basis, more understanding, definitely more understanding. I'm not so quick to judge them, because I know there's always more to the story. I challenge you guys to take the rifle policing strategy to their own community and just make it their own, twist it how they feel necessary in their communities. So we all have different problems in our communities. Improve it. See if you can top Sarasota County's National Keystone Project.